All right, this is called Grass. On Tuesdays, the gardeners come, and Lila puts on the cowhide skirt. She likes the feel of the tanned leather, the smooth slip of it across her legs as she dances. She dances to mariachi music. There is the sound of the mower on the front lawn, and Lila goes to the bedroom, dresses, opens the window, and then draws the curtains. The curtains are sheer and white, and she is sure, once the gardeners come around to the backyard, that they can see the sway of her hips, the twist of her silhouette behind the fabric. She turns the stereo loud enough for them to hear over the mower and the trimmer. The backyard usually takes 3 songs, and by that time Lila is damp with perspiration and short of breath. She goes to the kitchen, fills 3 glasses with ice, and balances the pitcher of lemonade out onto the porch. She lets the gardeners help themselves, seeing it makes them feel more at home. Roberto is the tall one with a mustache, and the little skinny one's name is either Santo or Sanso. She's never heard him properly. The 3 of them move to the end of the brick walkway and look out across the yard, watching the sprinkler wave a wide smile back and forth over the grass, thirstily drinking together. "It's almost time to cut the persimmon tree," Roberto says. "Not just yet," Lila tells him. She likes to watch the sprinklers most on sunny days when she can catch the flash and dispersion of little rainbows beneath the water stream. Tuesdays have become Lila's favorite days, the smell of fresh-cut grass and the stiff odor of these men's sweat mixing on the wet air. "We're due next door," Roberto says. She writes them a check, adding, "Everything looks beautiful." Lila doesn't dance for Paul. It isn't the same. Paul has no legs, or hasn't for over 3 months now, and he doesn't seem to miss them. It's as though he was always been in a wheelchair, as though someone just came to the door one day, a messenger boy in khakis who pointed to Paul's knees saying, "I'm here to pick those up." And Paul only shrugged and handed the limbs over. He still plays basketball with his friends on Saturdays, everyone ignoring when he rolls over their toes. He still goes to work with a new higher desk, and he even got a raise. He insists they start a family, as planned, within the year. Lila pictures a baby pulling itself along the floor with only the strength of its arms. Lila asked the doctor where the legs went, even before she'd thought to find out how Paul was doing, if the surgery had gone as planned. Some plan. Paul had offered the legs to science. "Such a good man," the doctor said, to which Lila wanted to respond, "Really thinks on his feet." The driver who came sailing through the farmer's market, pinning Paul, knocking him down with the front of the car, and holding him still with the back tires, was 85 years old and had driven the same maroon Buick LeSabre clear through his own garage door 1 week earlier. After he'd come to a stop, seemingly wedged still by Paul, Lila helped the old man out of his car. 3 other shoppers pushed and rolled Paul free. The ambulance took too long, the blood clotting at the thigh, the feet and ankles dying without pain. Lila wondered if she would feel less of lessness, if Paul had been a soldier at war or a race car driver flung from the track, if he'd been an active participant in his own tragedy. 1 other person had been hurt, not so bad, but then an elderly woman had a heart attack and died on the spot. "Maybe I had a stroke," the 85-year-old man said to Lila. "Or maybe not," Lila said back. Paul has started going to the market again, the city having constructed 6-foot wide, 3-foot deep cement barricades that are now towed in and out of place every Sunday. He comes home and shows Lila what he's been given for free: 2 mangoes, an orchid, a sack of organic potatoes, and a bag of walnuts roasted in red chili powder. After dinner, as is the new routine, Paul wheels the dishes over to the dishwasher, sets them in the rack, and rolls toward their room. But tonight Lila stays at the kitchen table and unwraps another baked potato from its foil, squeezing its insides out. She does not eat it, but instead watches the coming night change it before her eyes. What a wonderful potato. Paul is in bed, the lights out. They have touched and kissed and curled against one another, but they have not returned to making love, and Lila knows this is because of her more than him. She takes off her shirt, her pants, and slips behind him under the sheets. "I'm not dead," Paul says. She reaches down and touches the mottled flesh, the petals of scarred tissue around what was once a knee. "What does it feel like?" she asks, her hands still. "Like my legs are gone." "That's all?" She moves her hand away. He rolls over to face her. This is where things have always stopped, with his eyes on her. How can nothing else be different? Why are his eyes not now blue? How can he look at her as he always has? "I'm not dead," he says again. Lila rolls away out of bed. Music, she says, and opens the window and turns on the stereo. I'm going outside, she says. You can watch me or not. The trumpets are fainter, the guitars more distant, but as Lila moves, she knows, even if he cannot see her in the darkness, that he can feel the twist of his ankles, the flex of his calves, and his feet mashing down the damp green grass. This is Monday. This is as high as the grass will ever get.